Who's the richest person that you know? What makes them different from you? Are they a doctor? Are they a lawyer? Maybe they're an entrepreneur. Maybe they're a scientist. Maybe they're a programmer. The difference between them and you, if they're not wealthier than them, is knowledge. It's that plain and simple. A doctor has more knowledge about the field that he specializes in than most anybody else, so he gets a bonus off of it. He makes a lot of money because of his knowledge. The same's true in the richest people in the world. Why is Elon Musk the richest man in the world? Because of the knowledge that he has. Beyond that, it's the passion that he has to share that knowledge and to profit off of that knowledge in the world. Well, the same is true in the stock market. Those who make the most money in the stock market are those who have the most knowledge. Now, in the past, that meant that you were going to have to do a lot of research. You were going to have to subscribe for the annual report of the company that you were interested in and read it. But that's not required anymore because all the knowledge about that stock that you think you want to buy is available on the internet now. And you can access it through OpenAI or AI. You can go to ChatGPT or Perplexity or Gemini or any of the large language platforms, and you can access that knowledge on that stock so that you can become wealthy. But the problem is most people don't approach investing in the stock market as a business. They basically want to run with the herd. And the herd is led by the herder, the individual who stands up and says, I know what to do, follow me. And if you follow them and they're right, you might do okay. But for the most part, you're moving with the herd. So you will achieve a norm, an average, depending on how smart your herder is. The question now becomes, do you want to step away from the herd and become your own entrepreneur who invests in the stock market and uses knowledge to make him have better investment decisions than the herd? I did a survey on YouTube, and I asked the question, how much is your portfolio influenced by AI? The majority of the people said, I don't use AI whatsoever. The second level was, I ask it investment questions. The next level was I use it to help me make investment decisions. And the final and smallest element of the survey was I've built an AI agent. Well, that's the position I'm in. I've built an AI agent. I recognize the potential of what having access to all the knowledge in the world about a given stock gives me the ability to move away from the herd and achieve exponential returns on my investment. I started with Samantha about 3-4 months ago, and I started building a prompt. And what I did was I basically said, what does a growth company look like? And so to fill that in for me, I went back and I looked at Amazon in its early days, before it made a profit, before the stock grew. I looked at Nvidia, and I looked at before they took off, 3 years before they took off, what did they look like? What were their revenues? At what rate were their revenues growing? At what rate were their earnings growing? Were they hiring people? Were they borrowing money? And I built a template that said, this is what a growth company looks like. Now let's go out and find them. I then had to find a source, a data source, that gave me the cue that, hey, this company is growing its revenues very rapidly, maybe not profits, and it's growing its workforce. So I then said, okay, I need to learn more about that company. What do they do? What is their financial situation? What is their return on investment? And I built a series of metrics that matched those metrics of Amazon in their early days and Nvidia in their earlier days before their growth spurt. Then I said, okay, now how do I get this information? Well, first of all, I have to subscribe to the data sources that will give me that information. That's an investment. I don't care what your business is. You better invest money into your business if you expect to yield profits in the future. If you just follow the herd, you'll just make what the herd makes. But if you want to grow a business, you have to grow the business by borrowing money or finding money and then building your workforce so that you can reach scale. Well, that's exactly what Amazon and Google and Microsoft and Meta and more recently NVIDIA did. So if you want to make money in the stock market, you need to do the same thing. And that's what I've done. I've said, okay, I'm willing to spend, and right now that's about $20,000 a month, to make money in the stock market. Now, it's paid off once I started spending big money, and that was buying that data. So this month, I've made more money in the stock market than I ever have in the past in 1 month. And so it's paying off. So what I'm saying to you is if you want to make money in the stock market, you have to seek knowledge. Just like the doctor, he went to 4 years of college, then he went to 4 years of medical school, and then he probably went to another 4 years of specialization to become the expert that he is. Just like Jeff Bezos, quit his job, got in a van, drove to Seattle, rented a house on Spring Street that had a garage, went into the garage and started selling books. And he risked and he invested, and he's now one of the richest people in the world. So that's, if you want to make money in the stock market, that's what you need to do. Now you have to determine at what scale do you want to do it. Do you want to go as far as I have and spend $20,000 a month in order to achieve your objective? Or do you want to partner with someone like me who has made that commitment and then is willing to share his knowledge, which then gives him the means to crowdfund that $20,000 that he's spending? That's an option. Now, the other option is just to duplicate what I've done and build yourself an AI agent, subscribe to the sources, and they're numerous. You can find them, who can give you the data that you can then build a AI agent that's accessing all the knowledge in the world to take your formula for success, the numbers that you've discovered that Amazon and NVIDIA created, and then feed the data that you bought to the AI agent that you built, and you'll outperform the stock market exponentially because you're one of the few that have done it. I mean, look at it realistically. You have Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, who spend millions a month to outachieve the norm on the stock, millions a month. And then you have the retail investors who spend nothing a month and expect to make money in the stock market. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for any kind of business. So why would you think it would work in the stock market, where you're competing with me, spending $20,000 a month, and you're competing with Goldman Sachs, who's probably spending, I could look it up, but I'll bet it's millions a month to outperform the stock market. This is simple. You either have to, if you want to make money in the stock market, the thing that you got to know is don't get involved if you aren't willing to spend something or become a part of a crowdsource that spends something. That's what I'm offering through Best of Us Investors. A crowdsourcing means of going into business to make money in the stock market. I've never thought of it that way, but that's as simple as I can make it. So how does it work? Well, you familiarize yourself with me and my team, Trent and Mark. We only have 3 employees. Goldman Sachs has 56,000, but we don't spend millions of dollars a month. So we don't need you to pay 5% of your portfolio and what is it? 2 and 20. 2% of your portfolio value and 20% of your gains. No, it's $30 a month. But we don't have 56,000 employees so that that's how we can do it. Okay? If you want to be a part, at the end of this video, click and go learn about our gold platform. Come spend 14 days and say, hey, am I willing to put up $30 a month to be a part of this? It's free for the first 14 days, and then you make your decision. Okay, that's how you make money in the stock market. You either build a business or you crowdfund a business. I hope to see you at our Friday Stock Talk.